Hello beautiful friends and welcome. So in today's video I wanted to show you how you can multiply just one plant and make a bunch out of clippings and cuttings. Now today I'm going to show you how to propagate. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but it's super simple, easy, anybody can do it, and you will get a whole nother plant out of what you have. Now this neon pothos was a little clipping and now she is massive. Kids outside, but it is really long.
This is one of my favorite corners in the house, the kitchen. It has two pretty large windows and it gets so much afternoon sunlight. This plant has been doing amazing. She's been growing so much and I just need to tone it down a bit.
So you will only need 3 things to start propagating. Number 1 is your plant. Today we are doing the neon potho plant because it is just out of control. The next thing you need are some empty vessels. Now these two are empty kombucha bottles. We have a empty dessert mason, like a jar. This is from the dollar store. And then we have this one that is thrifted. I'm not going to use these. I already washed and prepared my vessels. And the last thing you need are clean clippers or scissors, whatever you have on hand. Just make sure you wash it with some dish soap so there's nothing there that will hurt the plant. Now let me show you how simple it is to propagate. You might think, how in the world can you make multiple plants out of one plant? So these things right here are called nodes. This is a node right here, this right here. So when you cut it and you put this little thing, when you clip this and you put it in water, the roots are actually going to grow out of this. So wherever you see these, that's where you are going to have roots coming down. It is super simple. Now let me show you how it's done.
Before we get into propagating, I wanted to take you along to the thrift store and show you just how affordable it is to get the most beautiful vases to propagate your plants in. Look how gorgeous this one is. It's only $1.99 and it reminds me of Aladdin or like Princess Jasmine vibes. This one has a little bit of a bigger top, so you can definitely put more propagations in there. And then this one has a very wide mouth. This one right here is also great, but what fun is it if you can't see the roots sprouting and growing? My personal favorite is colored glass. I love yellow, and how beautiful is this one? Another thing is you can go to the kitchen section and get these beautiful vessels that are for oil or vinegar and use them, or maybe you have something at home that you're no longer using and you can repurpose it. My first tip for you today is plants like room temperature water. If you're able to have your vessels stay out so they could adjust to the temperature of your home. If not, just make sure you have lukewarm water in there so they can thrive instead of being shocked with cold water.
So I absolutely love this plant here, all the way up there, and it goes all the way down, but it just gets in the way and it gets caught and then the leaves fall off. So I want to trim it, you know, maybe up to here so it's not in the way. And we will put those into these beautiful jars that I already prepared, or vases. Now can we give my lipstick plant a moment? How beautiful is she in all her glory? She is blooming and I'm just obsessed with her. Look at all of these gorgeous flowers. Oh. And this one right here is a Christmas cactus. She's blooming as well, but it's the last of it.
I've never propagated this plant before, so I was a little bit nervous to cut into it, but it has to be done so we can use the counter space properly. So what you want to do is find how long you want it and just snip it right underneath a leaf, and you will be left with a stem. So what we need to snip off is the leaf with the node on it. Now, you don't need a lot of the stem, just a little bit, maybe 1/4 of an inch on each side. As you can see, one side is too long. You don't need all of that, so just go ahead and snip it off, and you are left with this little part of the plant that you don't need. You could just discard it, and here you have the node and the leaf, and that is all. That's literally all of it. It's super simple, super easy. You can put them all in one big mason jar or vase, but I had this adorable little jar that is for oil that I thrifted, and I thought it was so cute, so I just wanted to display them. But let's go ahead and just snip off the rest of them. As you can see, you don't need a lot of the vine, just a little bit, and that is more than enough. It's not like you can go wrong. You can have more of the stem if your opening of the jar is big enough, but you don't necessarily need it. So just continue with the rest of your vine until you are completely done. Now, the last part is a little bit tricky because it only has one node on it with 2 leaves, so you don't want to separate that. This last piece right here, you want to make sure that there is a node on there. And this is what we are left with. I hope that you understood it and I could explain it to you well enough. You could see the little brown nodes on there. That's where the roots are going to come out of. And that is it, you guys. You learned how to propagate your plants. I hope you have fun with this. You can do all kinds of them. If you have any questions, make sure to ask in the comments below. I'm usually really good with responding to comments, so if you have any questions, be sure to ask me because I am here to learn and teach and want to create an amazing community that just helps each other out. But I absolutely love how this turned out. I love the color of this little vase. It is so refreshing and beautiful. I love this corner. Anytime I'm here washing the dishes or cooking for my family, it just inspires me. If this doesn't scream spring, then I don't know what does. This is one of my favorite corners in the house, and I spend so much time here, so why not make it beautiful and just a place I want to be. Now, I know I'm really blessed with having these 2 windows here in my kitchen, but not everybody has windows, and I know that. So just find a spot in your home, whether it's in your bedroom or by your sliding door or in your living room, just wherever you can, and just have your plants there so they are getting some sunlight. It doesn't have to be bright, direct sunlight. This will work practically in any light, just not like a bathroom that has absolutely no windows in there. These propagations are also so beautiful to style with, but I hope that this inspires you to go out and do some thrifting, do some propagating. If you don't own any plants to propagate with, go out to your local Home Depot or even Lowe's and get a plant for yourself. They're not that expensive. You can find something for as low as $10 or even under. Now, this was 5 days later. I just wanted to show you how quick the process actually is. Did you see that little tiny white root that was already sprouting? This process is so satisfying. It just brings so much joy to me knowing that I am creating a whole nother plant. Do you see how little that is? But it is still there and it is thriving. The other thing I wanted to remind you is change your water every, 3 to 4 or 5 days. You don't have to stress about it if you forget. But in order for plants to grow, they do need sunlight and oxygen, and the oxygen is actually in the water. So make sure that you are changing that up. But it has been 10 days since I clipped them and propagated them. So let me show you how much more it grew. So this is probably half an inch, maybe a little bit longer. I want to remind you to be patient. They don't all grow at the same time. Some of them take just a little bit longer than others. Like some of them don't even have roots, while this one is already about an inch long. If you learned something from this video, please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And remember, create a life that you love and live life beautifully today.